My name is Lisa Menna, and I am a professional magician for 40 years. And during the time I was coming up, there were few women in magic. My forte was close-up sleight of hand and comedy, and my skill was banter and improvisation. The opposite end of the spectrum was a silent act of grace and beauty that painted pictures and created emotion on a grand stage for hundreds of people. Completely different worlds Connie and I grew up in. And there were very few women, but truly we were the consummate professionals in our genres. And we never got to know each other. We met and shook hands and knew each other existed, but our worlds were so different that not only did we not know each other, we had no chance to see each other in an envious or threatening fashion because our worlds didn't cross. And over that time, a kind of distant respect grew between us that was, I know, you know, that I know. And so here we are, and Connie and I have gotten to know each other through her project of getting to know all the women in magic. And for me, I didn't realize how much I was not alone. And I so wish that someone had forced us together for a cup of tea in our 20s.
It just sums the whole thing up beautifully. Thank you, Lisa.
How many shows have you been responsible for, including your performances and all your people's performances? Is that 1,000 shows or 10,000?
Well over thousands of shows. I've never done the math. 12 shows a week, every week for years in Vegas, and then plus all the corporate shows that we would do in the afternoon and pick up on our day off, and plus all of the extra shows in Japan. Sometimes we were doing 3 shows a day, so yeah, lots of shows.
You have 4 women on your roster right now, and they're from different nations from around the world. Is that intentional?
I didn't purposefully say I want a Ukrainian, a Romanian, a South African, and an Australian, and a Canadian. I went for the best talent, and we are equal opportunity, and we embrace diversity, as you should.
And is it difficult, given their prospective countries of origin, to get them working papers and visas?
And most of them were already engaged on cruise ships and had worked internationally on land. So, and they're all very competent. Any professional worth their salt knows how to get a visa. And when I was working on the cruise ships out of Italy, we have a very good agency that are very, very helpful and provide a lot of insight and support for visas and documentation.
Do you have tips when they're looking at a prop and they have decided they want to, either they've come to it, they want to fly across the room, or they've come to it, here's a neat mechanism that I would like to encounter and put in my show and create a story around? Do you have any tips to pass along?
Yeah, first of all, I'm an illusionist, so illusions are very expensive. So you need to do your homework before you buy anything. You really need to be 100% sure it's something that's going to help your show. And it could be that it's something you perform yourself in one piece. Like I created the self-twister because I wanted an illusion that I could execute myself in front of the main while they set something bigger behind. And so, and it was a calculated risk. It could have gone wrong. It didn't.
Can you tell me about pizza boxes?
Don Wayne was a huge advocate of making mock-ups. And he would use pizza boxes and, large pizza boxes and tape them together and to figure out what space somebody could fit in, to figure out mechanisms. And so I worked with Don Wayne the first year of my magic after an absolute fiasco. I worked with him. So my entire magic career, and I used a lot of his magic within my show. We still do to this day. His floating balls will always be in my magic shows.
Were the pizza boxes new?
On tour, what do you eat every night? Pizza. There's always a box of pizza. So you're on tour, you've got boxes of pizza. And so you use when you're on tour, you use whatever is available to you. And sometimes it's something that's laying around like garbage backstage. It could be a box that's a new light came in. You just use what's there, you just go scrounging.
Have you ever had an emergency where you had to take the masking tape, everything together while you're in the middle of the show?
Oh yeah, we have, that brings me to something else as well. Yeah, I mean, everything that can go wrong will go wrong in front of a live audience. You just have to know it's going to happen. And so we always have black gaff tape backstage and Velcro. Are you enjoying this talk? take a second to subscribe and hit the notifications bell so you'll be up to date with our next uploads. I'm a big advocate of everybody in the show should know everything about the props. They sign a non-disclosure. It's really important. So if something goes wrong, you have people that actually can solve the problem. You're not hoarding the secret and you're the only one that can fix it and you're on stage. But that leads me to the second point, and you must always have emergency material at the wings in case something goes wrong. So we always had the kiss card trick. That was our ace up our sleeve, but you should have 2 or 3 little tricks effects that you can perform. For example, we were in Monte Carlo and I heard the blammo box behind the main go, and I just kept going. And then sure as anything, out comes one of my guys with the kiss card trick. Now this is the gala show with Prince Rainier and Prince Albert, everybody that's anybody in the show. And Connie's going off and a whole tangent. Nobody knows what I'm doing. I thankfully have a mic and I go into the audience and I pick a child. I know that they can set it in 2 minutes. So I have a little conversation with the little boy and we do kiss card trick and I blow him a kiss. And in the end, the only card he's chosen is the one with the lipstick on the back and everybody's happy. And I go back up on stage and we go on with the show. There were magicians in the show that were angry with me that I had changed my show and, it wasn't fair because I'd added material. And I looked at them and I said, do you realize why? Like, Earth to people, they just didn't understand that you should have an emergency card trick or something in the wings.
Beautiful answer. People interpret your magic. You teach it to them, they do their interpretation of it. Right. Which piece of all your pieces do you find that every woman embraces the most and transcends the audience in that moment of purity? Does each girl come up with a different moment where she really connects? Or have you found that in your magic, because this is set up with the right costumes, the right dynamics, the right things, this is the moment the audience goes,
oh. Good question. There are moments within the show that we know we're going to get that magic gasp. And one of them is the neck quick change. I know it's going to happen. One of them is the transposition, when the one magician switches with the other, or the reveal of the man in the air and she's jumped positions. Those you're going to get because they're just classics in magic that are, any magician who performs that strong material is going to get a response. That being said, some magicians are better than others. Some relate to the audience better than others. Some just have that magical pizzazz. So each magician that I work with has a different routine that they're the best at. For example, Terry Lee Aspeling is the South African magician. And when she does the upside down straitjacket escape over a bed of nails, she made me nervous. You're anxious for her, and that's what you want the audience to feel, that anxiety. So that's her piece. Gabriella, who performed the Beauty of Magic show, when she did the floating and flying routine, she's a piece of art. She's just beautiful. And she is a beautiful woman, a beautiful magician, and a beautiful performer. And the audience they absorb her like candy. She's just beautiful. Svetlana is vivacious, quirky, and blonde, and fun. And so the jukebox or the bang illusions, both of which are puzzle illusions, she's wonderful at those because the audience, they get on the train with her and they ride with her because she just is in her element when she does those routines. Simone Chaplin is intense, and she has worked with me the longest. She worked with me for over 12 years. And when she does the sword through neck, her intensity, her mystical power at that point in time, it's electric. And I could never perform like that. I would look like an idiot if I did it that way. It's just not in my personality base. So I think it's finding each personality and using that, using them. And that's what I think a good producer and director should do. They should encourage talent. If you enjoyed this chat as much as I did, and you haven't already subscribed and hit the notifications bell, please do so. Oh, and don't forget to comment. We love to hear from you and to receive feedback so we can grow and improve our Magical Women channel and project. you.